Hey everyone, last week Ford announced their September 2022 sales figures, and I'm going to take this time to give you a market update on Ford's status as an EV maker, but also updates around the Mustang Mach E. Stay tuned. First off, Ford reported an overall sales decline for the month of September 2022 compared to September 2021. But if we actually section out EVs, we do see that Ford did triple its sales. This chart here shows a great summary of EV sales for Ford in 2021 and 2022. Keep in mind that 2021 was Ford's first year of selling EVs. So it is pretty obvious and it does make sense that Ford would grow by triple, given that 2021 was their first year and as they begin to focus and ramp up and produce more EVs. But if we actually take a look at Tesla's annual sales figures back from 2016 to now, we do see that that growth is unprecedented. According to Good Car, Bad Car, we do see that Tesla averages about a 60 to 80% year-over-year sales growth and just had 1 year where they actually 4x their sales. So with that being said, it really is unprecedented that Ford has already tripled its EV sales in the matter of 2 years of selling EVs. So I will say that the pandemic probably helped fuel things, and the rising gas prices also helped fuel some demand. So obviously the demand is there and people are very much more trusting of EVs, but it's still pretty impressive that Ford was able to execute on growing EV sales 3 times. Another notable thing from the September 2022 sales report is that Ford reported that for the 6th straight month, more than 50% of orders for the month came from previously placed orders. So a little technical clarification here. A sale for a company can only be recognized when the responsibility of the product transfers from the seller to the buyer. So if you ever place an order online, the company can only recognize the sale of that product as soon as they hand that product over to UPS, FedEx, and those shipping carriers. So in this situation with Ford, Ford is saying that their backlog is quite enormous and that they are starting to recognize the sales of people who've placed orders for several months or maybe even a year back. So that's how big their backlog is. And once we see sales reaching under 50% of previously placed orders, that'll give us an indication that Ford is actually catching up with the lead times and doing a really good job at lowering that queue of orders so that when you place an order, you are getting your product immediately. Now we transition into Ford Mustang Mach E related news, and Ford is saying that demand for the Ford Mustang Mach E is still very high. With that being said, Ford did report in September 2022, sales did grow 47% compared to the previous year. So that equates to about 2,300 vehicles sold in the month of September, and bringing the total for the year so far in 2022 about 28,000 units. With more Mustang Mach E's on the road and more Ford EVs on the road, Ford is making some inroads into the EV market share. Ford did grow 3.1% compared to last year and now has a 7% market share in the EV market. Over the past 12 months from Q2 2021 to Q2 2022, the Ford Mustang Mach E has been the third most popular registered vehicle at about 6% of all EVs. And that is significantly behind first place, which is the Model Y at about 32% of all EVs, and the Model 3 at about 30% of all EVs. So that means that the Ford Mustang Mach E is beating out every non-Tesla EV in the market. That is including the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6, the Volkswagen ID4, and any other EVs that are produced not by Tesla. So really great, showing that the Ford Mustang is becoming very popular. There is demand for it and that it is getting on the road and is gaining market share in all of EVs. So that's going to be it for this video. Just wanted to give a quick market update based on what Ford corporate is reporting. Overall, signs are showing that there is significant demand for the Ford Mustang Mach E, that the supply still needs to be worked out and can have the potential to grow even faster if Ford is able to overcome shortage supplies. But Ford is making inroads to becoming a very popular EV here in the US. While it's gaining ground and gaining market share and sales figures are doubling, tripling where they can, Ford definitely has an opportunity to grow. The one big question I ask is, at what balance do you strike between profit margin growth and sales growth? Because obviously they can increase prices and boost their bottom line, or they can keep prices low and become a significant market share of the total EV market. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, especially with all the rising commodity costs going around. So it'll be something that I keep an eye on and see if Ford does go the profit margin route. That would be really bad for consumers, just because there would be less vehicles on the road and less affordable vehicles for people of lower incomes to gain access to an EV. But for those who are willing to spend the money and have the money, then the Ford Mustang Mach E is a great product for you. So thank you for watching. Just wanted to give a quick market update, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you liked it, please give a like. Subscribe to my channel for more update, not only about my Mustang Mach E order, but just overall Mustang Mach E's. I really like the Mustang Mach E, and I'm going to continue to do research and report everything I find out to all of you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.